let's learn 3 motor letters. The first is called Jim. That's a J. Jim. Ha. It's frictive. I'm going to put a dot underneath to distinguish it from the weak H. Ha. And Kha. Kha, like as in Russian sound. Kha. So those are 3 letters, just like that. And these are written isolated, and let me put you guideline here. Guideline line goes right there. And so the hook is above the line, and the circle, or half a circle, the curve is below the line. The hook above the line. So let's write them here. So the Jim would be something like that. It doesn't look exactly like that, but this is in handwritten, it looks like that. Then the Ha, like that, but I don't put any dots on top. And then the Kha, the same fashion, but the dot goes on top. This is the shape. Keep practicing. And then you put the dot above or below to distinguish the Ha, Kha, and Je sound. So here is the Je. By itself, isolated. Then Je as first letter. And this is Je as medial. So you have stuff here and you have stuff here. And this is final Jim. And we assigned some short vowels here. So that would be Je because of that. Ju, Ji. So practice. So that's Je, being the first letter, being the medial letter, and being the final letter. Ha, the same thing except there are no dots, so that's Ha, Hu, He. Ha, Hu, and final. And the same with the Kha. So you have initial, put the dot underneath, and that's Kha. Medial, and final. The next combination of letters here is your guiding line. So all this is written above the line, de and de. So this is Dal, and this is Dal, as in, let me write it actually with the TH, as in this, Dal, as in this. And so you write above the line, below the line, above the line, on the line actually. So that's the Dal, and Dal is exactly the same except there is a dot. So it's kind of back, falling back, forward, falling back, forward, and close down. And that's Dal. Dal, as you can see here, it does not connect. As you guess, it does not connect to the left. That's why there is a space right there. There's a space right there. So if it's the first letter, it stands on its own. If it's medial, it's connect to what is behind it, if what is behind it connects, of course. And if it's final, it connects to what is behind it, if what is behind it connects. And you end up with de, do, di. So practice here. That's the Dal. Then you go to the next stuff. If it's what is right here connects, so we start right here, then you go directly to the Dal and then make space. and go to the next step. If it's final, just like so. If that the same way, it does not connect. There is a space. It's a lot of space here because of the short vowel. The computer forced that long space, but generally it's a smaller space, just maybe that much. Same here. It should be, you start your next letter right here, and so you leave a space here. The there doesn't connect. The, do, the. And again, practice. If it's in it, first letter, then if it's medial, connect back, but do not connect forward. And if it's final, connect back, but do not connect forward, assuming that what is before it is a connecting letter. The next pair of letters called Ra and Z. So Ra, oops, wait, Ra and Z. So that's the Z sound and that's R sound. R here and Z here. And in terms of where it's written, it's at the start above the line, a little bit above the line, and you pull on this kind of arc. That's for the Ra. And it's the same shape for the Z, except there's a dot. Ignore that. Ra, Z, and a dot. Ra, Z. Let's look at them in middle, first, medial, and final. See the space there? That means one thing. If you see space here, it means the Ra does not connect to the left, but it connects to the back. So Ra, Ru, Ri. So if it's the first letter, you start right here with the next letter. If it's medial, assuming this letter is connects to the back, then you come right here and start with the next stuff. And if it's final, assuming also it connects the letter before it connects, then ignore also that. Same with the Z. So that's a Ra. This is Ra, Ru, Ri, Z, Zu, Z. This is the Z sound here. And the same thing, there is a space there and there is space there. That means it does not connect to the left. So if it's the first letter, Z, and then you start here. If it's medial, you start right here, then Z, then space, little space, then next, and a dot. And if it's final, examples. Let's look at some examples. So here, actual words: bahatha, bahatha, bahatha. Najaha. This is to research. Bahatha. Najaha, to succeed, as in an exam. Najaha. Notice the connection. These are the verbs when you, the letters separate, but when you combine them, najaha. And these little things are what tells us how they're pronounced. Wajada, wajada, wajaba, wajaba. This should not be there because there is a long vowel right here. So banat, banat. Imagine there is a stop here, so because it's the last letter, that's why we're making the stop. Banat. Ji, because of this one, jidar, jidar. And this is zara, zara, to visit. I don't know what that is. Yeah, a letter probably that disappeared. So hadara, hadara. Assume there is nothing here. Here, yajibu. Notice how these little things are guiding us in a pronunciation. Yajibu, yajibu, yajibu. Babuna, babuna. Our door. بابنا. ثيابنا. 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 Our clothes.